We all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
I'm assuming that there's additional challenges associated with an international investor that has no idea what the climate is, regulatory climate, legal climate, as far as dealing with the BRA and dealing with the code, so on and so forth. Do you feel that you have to spend more time with an international developer that's going to be making building a big project here, as opposed to a more domestic builder?
Well, there's no question that that's a difference. But none of them try to do it alone.
Sure.
The international JV opportunity is large, and they're smart enough to realize what they don't know. They're also smart enough to realize that in order to get anything approved here, they need to be connected and understand the industry and the mores associated with development here. So they partner up in 100% of the time with a local developer that clearly can get the job done.
Gotcha.
It remains to be seen whether or not they don't go off on their own eventually in the next project,
right,
and take that learning curve and go from there, because they provide the equity and they provide the money.
Let's talk a little bit, because again, before the show, we were talking about your resume of all of these great, phenomenal projects that you've been part of. Those projects, and I'd love you to name a couple as well, but you're starting to see, you guys are or the developers in the market are starting to push the price per square foot to a new high. Talk about that. I mean, has that been a challenge?
Well, not yet, but I think we all know that this is a cyclical environment. Right now, it is extraordinary. I mean, we were talking earlier about the three major projects that are underway now. One is the Ink Block project, which is the South End and the gentrification of the old Herald building.
Right.
And the price points of both Sepia and now Sienna are anywhere from $1,100 to $1,200 a foot, which is a number that was literally half of that five years ago.
Yeah,
for
it was
the local
definitely
inventory.
$600 a foot.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then you look at Assembly Square project we just launched 4 weeks ago. We're 35% sold at this point in 4 weeks, and the pricing there is approaching over $850 a foot.
And that's in Somerville.
That's in Somerville at Assembly Row, and top of a major hotel. So that's obviously an unusual situation. And then you look at Pierce, which is on top of by the Samuels Company, on top of the Fenway, and that project is broaching over $1,600 a foot. And again, Fenway was less than half of that. So it really.
I lived in Fenway. I know
You
what
know.
Fenway was like.
No, but it speaks
I remember the fact that there was nothing on Boylston Street, and you drive there now and you see these skyscrapers that have gone up, and it boggles my mind that it's $1,600 per square foot. It's nuts what's happening.
Well, it is, but all three of those projects speak to the fact that you have to create the sense of place. And all three of them have done that. So
Right.
I think that people are less sensitive to the neighborhood these days. They're more neighborhood agnostic. They're willing to look at all different neighborhoods for new construction, and that just speaks to the
How
question.
high will it go, Sue?
Well, if you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have thought 2,000 was a threshold. We already have 2 or 3 projects in the city that are well over that.
Exactly. Over 400 homes sold, but really more compelling is the fact that you have 100% customer satisfaction. And that's really a difficult thing to achieve when you're dealing with the service industry, when you're dealing with sales, when you're dealing with real estate, which is so incredibly emotionally charged.
And emotional. I was going to say,
Right.
and emotional. I mean,
Right.
there's no doubt about it.
How do you do it? Tell us your secret recipe of
Well,
success.
I guess you really put them first, I think, is the most important thing. And we don't really view a sale as a sale or just from a transaction.
Yeah.
It's really about being a consultant and being able to offer knowledge and expertise and advice about what's happening in the market. Not just today, not just this season, not just this week, but really looking at trends and stuff like that, but really helping our clients understand what's going on, educating them so that they can make the right decisions for them. A lot of times it's like, these are your options for pricing your property. What's your goal? You know, everybody has different goals, and
Have
it's
you-
our
needs
job to
and
get to them.
motivations.
Have you ever
and-
discouraged a particular client? Because let's face it. I mean, in today's market, everybody, I think all buyers are frustrated, right? Because we talked about the fact, we talked with Sue about these developments going up, and they can't go up fast enough because there is just simply isn't enough inventory, and I think you can cooperate with that. And so I think buyers that are out there, they're putting multiple offers. Their offers are not being accepted. They're being outbid, so on and so forth. So it's disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. So do you find yourself discouraging a buyer from putting an offer on a particular property because it just doesn't match their criteria, but they want to do it just to get it over with?
I would say yes, absolutely. There have been times that we've worked with a buyer who, for some reason, got caught up in the emotional aspect of buying a home and the multiple offers, and they kind of, people sometimes lose vision, especially in these multiple offers. They lose sight of what's important. There's a psychological frenzy that goes on, and it's like kind of reminding them, is this really the property? Because you did tell me. Again, it's listening to them and their needs. A lot of times you sit down with them and they say they want this, this, and this, and then they go find something. It doesn't have hardly anything that they said they told us.
But they're just sick of fighting,
They're sick of fighting. They're tired. They want something. So sometimes we have to remind them. And again, it's their decision. But say, let's take a step back. You're getting caught up here, or this is what's going on. But you mentioned to me that you were looking for this and this and this was important. This house doesn't have this. Are you sure this is where you want to go? And getting them to step back and think about it.
It's really interesting because you can there's a little sliding scale that you have on the website, and it says how many units do you have, do you need to manage, and there's a really exact science of what the cost of the software would be per month per unit.
That's right.
For the management company, it takes the guesswork out, certainly.
That's right.
Management. I mean, I own some real estate, and I use different management companies for that, depending on where they are geographically, obviously. And I think there are definitely challenges with the management side because you rely on them in giving you the breakdown, giving your profit and loss statements, etc. What are the strengths of the software? Are there other competitors in the market with you? And how do you stand out?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it is a crowded market, and first and foremost, there is a lot of challenge with property management as a business. There's a lot of complexity. The average property manager offers 12 different services today, and most property managers, believe it or not, in 2016 are still relying on manual, time-consuming processes. So we help create efficiency through automation. We help streamline, as I said at the start, all the things that take a lot of time, like collecting rent. So instead of waiting for checks to arrive in the mail, you can do it electronically. You can save the time from having to record that check. It automatically records in the software. So we're streamlining that the low value tasks that take a lot of time and creating that efficiency. But to be frank, a lot of companies do that. What really sets Buildium out from the competition is we're not only helping you create that efficiency to run a better business, but we're then putting you in a position to grow. And we are the only property management software platform in the market that will help you grow by connecting you with landlords and community associations that are looking for services that you provide. So we're helping them win new business.
Interesting. Now, I mean, for management companies, I mean, efficiency means profitability, right?
Sure.
The more efficient you are, the more money you can make, and the more competitive you can be, because property management companies, they're a dime a dozen in and around the city, right?
That's right.
And so the more efficient you run your business, the more you can attract more landlords. How do you bring landlords and management companies together?
Yeah, we do that through a company we acquired a year ago. We acquired a company called All Property Management, and APM is the leading digital marketing company vertically focused on property management. So what we do through APM service is we get in front of people that are looking online, landlords and associations, self-managed associations that say, you know what, I'm done. I've had it. I want to hire somebody now. And so we get in front of those folks, we qualify them, and then we connect them with our customers. and then our customers are able to convert them
Win-win.
into new business.
Yeah,
Win-win.
And I've said it here before. I mean, property managers, man, gotta love them, because when their phone rings, it's not ever like, "Hey, just calling to say you're doing a good job." Hey, just hey, noticed noticed you took my my rent pretty quick. Thank you very much. No, it's hey, this is broken, that's broken. I'm having issues, and that's the time consuming stuff.
Sure.
And really, that's where you can set, as a property manager, time to deal with those issues efficiently and effectively, and not having to worry about all the back end stuff. That really sets that property
It's
manager apart
absolutely
as well.
brilliant.